My name is Jessica Tolliver. Last year, we started attending Victory Church, my husband and I, probably about in November. And when it was time for 21 days of prayer and fasting, I remember thinking that I really, really wanted to be there. It was almost like my spirit was telling me that I needed to be there. And things happened in life and I just wasn't able to attend. And I didn't feel condemnation about it, more just a sorrow for a missed opportunity. So this year, it came so fast, I didn't even realize it was here. And I decided, Lord, I really need to be here. So I prayed and I just asked God to help me get here. And He was just so faithful in that, because I made every single night, even though it was a sacrifice to be here, we absolutely were here. And so I think that was amazing. The things that God led me through in the prayer and the time that we had, He spoke 2 words to me. One was healing and one was obedience. And I realized that all the prayers that I had come with for other people were for healing. And then I was seeing those prayers answered in these people's lives. Amazing opportunities that we had were to pray for the youth, and pray with the youth. The Wednesdays that we were here, we were able to do that. And that was just so impactful, just to see these youth, sacrificing their Wednesday nights. One of them is a wrestler and she was sacrificing her practice to be here, and it just spoke volumes to me. Just to be able to do that. We prayed for generations. We prayed for each other. Some people received the gift of tongues. It was just an amazing experience, and I am just so grateful to God in His mercy and His grace that I was able to be here and blessed. So I think the biggest takeaway from this time is just obedience, just really being obedient, because last year I had a lot less things going on and I just didn't make it. And this year, I was full of things, and it took sacrifice and obedience to be here. And really, for me, it wasn't more about the fast, it was mostly about the prayer and the corporate prayer and the individual prayer, and the time to coming together with other people, sacrificing their nights every night to be here. And so I just think that stepping into obedience and what God's calling you to do, He will always reward that, but also it's like a deeper spiritual connection that I can't explain.
My name is Mistin Price, and I have 2 children who also attend Victory. That is Cash and Dane. And this is our first year doing the 21 days of prayer and fasting. I think I've only been coming to Victory for about 6 to 7 months, and I've only rededicated my life in the past year. So I have a friend who attended Victory. She invited me, and then for the 21 days of prayer and fasting, she was so excited to come. She was like, "We're going," and I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm coming. I'll see I've never done that before," so I had no idea what 21 days of prayer and fasting could bring to my life, but it ended up we had so many results. We saw miracles every day, every night. So there was an incident about, I think it was 1.5 years, maybe 2 years ago now, where my children and I were at a car wash and we were involved in a random shooting. So I got this feeling at like 6 or 7 at night that we should go for a little drive. And so we went to the car wash, and I was about to get my kids out of the car to let them vacuum up their Cheerios from the back seat. And I saw a truck pull up into the car wash, and there was this little older gentleman who was changing the trash bags out of like where you would vacuum stuff out of the car wash. And all of a sudden, the guy in the truck, you just see him pull a shotgun out, and he's pointing it at this old man. So he pulled in front of us, and he ended up pulling the trigger. He was no further than from me to the camera, away from us. And I just remember having a lot of grief and anger. My children had the same feelings. We weren't really sure why this would happen to us. And looking back, it was one thing that in the 21 days of prayer and fasting that I learned was not only forgiveness, but also seeing Jesus and His role in that situation. Even the police were like, "We don't know how the bullet didn't, hit one of you guys. The windshield stopped it," and we were not very far away from each other, obviously. And so looking back, I see that Jesus was there, and that was the role that He played in that situation, was literally saving our lives in that situation. And so for the 21 days of prayer and fasting, I prayed a lot about releasing my grief, releasing the trauma of that situation, praying for my kids to not be so anxious. And I've just seen immense improvements, not only in myself. I was able to forgive him. I've actually written him a letter. I haven't sent it yet, but it's all about forgiveness and how I hope he finds Jesus in prison. And my children have just, I mean, it's been a full 360 for both of my children. They're happier, they're more excited to go in the car now. I mean, we went to the same car wash a few weeks ago and they didn't seem to have any anxieties about it. So all of these are just really big blessings.